The film starts off evolved with an 11-year-old boy named Alexander Cooper arriving home, together with his family in a seriously damaged minivan. His circle of relatives includes his dad and mom, Kelly, and Ben, his older siblings Anthony and Emily, and his baby brother Trevor. Alexander explains that his own family had the maximum horrible day today, however they have no idea that he's the purpose for the entire mess. After this, they open the door of the house and spot a crocodile internal, making them scream and slam the door. The scene then shifts to the day earlier then, while Alexander wakes up and receives an internet invitation to a celebration. For the subsequent evening, it's dispatched with the aid of his wealthy and well-known classmate, Philip. This upsets him given that his birthday is also day after today and he is planning a celebration. So he walks downstairs and tells his circle of relatives that nobody will display up at his party because Philip is extra famous than him, but no person in his own family seems to care as they're all busy with their personal element. Anthony is decided to get his driving forces license to take his lady friend Celia to the promenade. Emily is busy rehearsing for the lead position in her faculty play, whilst Kelly is approximately to publish a brand new children's ebook. In the meantime, Ben, who has been unemployed for 7 months, is busy looking after the household. Later, Kelly informs Alexander that she cannot drop him off at faculty these days, which makes him unhappy. However, his unhappiness fast turns to joy whilst he realizes that he's going to be going to college along with his overwhelmed Becky. He happily gets into Becky's car and attempts to talk along with her, but unexpectedly Becky's brother takes a picture of him and makes use of an app to vicinity his face on the air bodies of ladies wearing bikinis at college. Alexander meets his exceptional friend Paul and informs him about Becky's brother's moves, but Paul says that he might be joking and would in no way place such pics at the internet. But different college students begin to giggle at Alexander, and he discovers that his pics were shared on social media. Simply then, Philip additionally seems and makes amusing of him. Later, Alexander informs Paul that Philip is keeping a party, even though it's no longer his actual birthday. He is concerned that most effective Paul and his family will attend his celebration. However, Paul apologizes and says that he's going to additionally attend Philip's birthday party. This upsets Alexander that even his first-rate buddy is leaving behind him. Inside the schoolroom, the teacher assigns each student a project on a particular Pacific Us of Alexander says he wants to select Australia as he loves the United States and knows lots approximately it. However, the trainer believes that there have to be equity, so he spins a globe. It quickly lands in Djibouti. That's assigned to Alexander. He then spins the globe once more, and this time it lands in Australia, which is given to Philip. Later, in technological know-how class, Alexander processes Becky and asks if he can companion up along with her. She concurs, and they start to paintings collectively. He then uses the possibility to invite her to his party. However, she refuses, announcing that she's going to Philip's birthday celebration as well. Even as they're speak me, Alexander receives distracted and by accident sets Becky's pocketbook on fireplace. He tries to position it out, but reasons similarly. Hearth within the laboratory, the trainer fast arrives with a fireplace extinguisher and places out the fireplace. However, after this, Alexander is kicked out of class due to his moves. After a series of misfortunes, Alexander returns home and reveals Trevor's bumblebee pacifier mendacity on the floor. His father tells him to clean it, but in the process, Alexander, by chance, drops it into the sink and breaks it. After that, Trevor starts to cry constantly because the bumblebee pacifier is the most effective component that may calm him later. The own family gathers for dinner and discusses a few suitable news. Ben famous that he's got a task in review for a recreation fashion designer role at a online game enterprise. Emily goes to play Peter Pan in her college's play, and Anthony is calling forward to driving Celia to prom and passing his driving forces. Take a look at Kelly additionally pronounces the discharge of her new kids ebook, which she hopes will sell her to vice president. Anyone is satisfied, and seems that Trevor spoke his first phrase these days, so they start cheering him. Alexander then receives disappointed and claims that his day has been a catastrophe. However, while he is speaking, all of a sudden Trevor begins crying, so his parents start to console Trevor at the same time as Emily is going to her mother's automobile to exercise for her play. Following this, Alexander returns to his room and discovers that Anthony continues to be unsleeping. He then tries to speak with him, but his brother is busy speaking with his lady friend, so Anthony gets annoyed and curses Alexander for bothering him. However, Celia believes he is yelling at her and hangs up the cell phone quickly. Nighttime arrives and Alexander makes himself a birthday dessert. However, he is disappointed that no one in his family is concerned about him. He feels awful that they experience their perfect lives at the same time as he has to deal with terrible luck every day, so he blows out the candle and wishes that everybody in his circle of relatives could enjoy what it is want to have a terrible day. The subsequent morning, Alexander awakens to discover his circle of relatives in chaos. Ben and Kelly, who have essential meetings for the day, have overslept, so he wakes them up and that they start to panic and get ready for work. Meanwhile, Emily, having spent the within the cold vehicle, is unwell and in no situation to carry out at the play. Unexpectedly, they all pay attention. Anthony screaming from the restroom, and it seems that he has a pimple, which annoys him because it's his promenade day. Furthermore, his lady friend Celia has broken up with him because of their ultimate nighttime's conversation. In a while, Kelly is going to her car and unearths out that its battery is lifeless because Emily left the car lights on all night. Having no different choice, the entire family receives into Ben's minivan. After dropping off each kid, Kelly heads to her place of business. There she is shocked to examine that there has been a typo in her ebook that modified the word soar with unload on no longer simplest the quilt. However, each web page within her boss informs her that the business enterprise turned into able to get copies of the ebook earlier than it was launched to the public, but a famous character, Dick Van Dyke, goes to study the ebook on the exhibition to keep away from a scandal. Kelly hurries to prevent this from going on quickly after she arrives at the occasion to forestall Dick Van, but is interrupted with the aid of some reporters. He then starts studying the ebook with error, making it appear to be the ebook is entirely about taking a cell off. This frightens the youngsters, and their parents are greatly surprised. Meanwhile, at college, Anthony apologizes to Celia and asks her to nevertheless visit prom with him. He says that he yelled at his brother last night time, and after numerous pleas, she in the end forgives him. She then returns to her magnificence, and Anthony is so excited that he jumps into the air and smacks a banner, unaware that it is tied to two trophy cases which fall apart and damage at the different hand. Ben takes Trevor and arrives for the process interview. The recruiters are amazed that he's a bit older, however they like him and are inspired together with his past revel in and capabilities. After that, they start discussing new online game thoughts. However, at the same time as Ben is Speak Me, Trevor pulls out a green marker and starts off Evolved, consuming it. As a result, the interviewers ask him to depart for now and say that they may name him later. In the meantime, Alexander is having a terrific day at faculty. He learns from Paul that Philip has gotten smallpox and so his birthday party is now cancelled. This indicates all people will now arrive at Alexander's celebration, which makes him pretty happy. He also learns that Becky's brother is being punished at faculty for sharing his photos on the internet. After that, he invitations Becky to his birthday party and he or she concurs later. Ben arrives at faculty to pick up the children and he discovers that Anthony has been suspended. Emily informs him that she satisfied her director that she can take some remedy and participate in the play, so they visit the nearest drugstore, in which, in spite of Ben's worries, Emily takes a whole bottle of cough medication. Moments later, Ben gets a name from Kelly and he tells her the whole lot that befell to him and the kids. He informs her that he's heading to the using middle because Anthony needs to take a look at for his license, so she tells him she'll meet him there. As they all arrive, Alexander realizes that the entirety is going on due to his wish. So he asks his brother no longer to take the test today. Anthony, however, ignores him and gets in his father's van for his test. After this, a lady who will examine him rides with him. Moments later, Anthony nervously starts using. However, he does nicely. However, suddenly, he receives a phone name from Celia. He does not solution, but his evaluator urges him to do so. But as soon as he picks up the cell phone, she informs him that he has failed his check. Panicked, Anthony loses manage of the automobile and drives off the street. He knocks over numerous gadgets at the sidewalk until he crashes with a factor. Following this, the van's door falls off and the car is wholly wrecked. After this, the family argues and blames each different for this terrible day, but Alexander explains that this is taking P.